So the Yankees won the Carlos Rodon start, just not the way they thought they would. But hey, they're alive. We are alive. And we're going to celebrate. So join us for a live Locked On Yankees right now.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. He's Brian McKeon. I think I'm finally breathing normally again. How about you, Brian?
Started a Let's Go Yankees chant while the Rangers didn't perform in Madison Square Garden. It was a crazy night.
Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. So today's show is going to be about Game 3. Honestly, but what else is there to talk about right now? Because this is... I've been watching baseball for 45 years, right? Where I was cognizant, I should say. And this was one of the strangest Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde games I've seen in a really long time from the Yankees. And it really felt like two separate games, honestly. The first 3 innings were just different. And then the rest of the game felt like what we thought the Yankees would be in the playoffs.
On multiple occasions in this game, the season was over at multiple different times.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, that from a 2-run homer in the first inning out of Guerrero, from Rodon being taken out of the game as early as he did, from the inning the Blue Jays put together in the top half of the third inning and just ending the game there at that point. I mean, the game was over at multiple different occasions. And the common denominator in all of those innings is the Yankees found a way to answer at the bottom half of every one of those innings. They didn't necessarily come back and tie it, but they answered at the bottom. They showed fight. They didn't give up at any point in this game. This was one of the better team efforts the Yankees have had throughout the entire season.
This was a complete win, other than Rodon.
As crazy as that sounds to say, yeah.
Right? Because other than Rodon, everyone else picked him up in the bullpen, right? The offense started to step it up. And you mentioned the scoring. So the Blue Jays scored 2 in the top of the first. The Yankees scored 1. You know me with numbers. The Blue Jays score 4 in the top of the third, and the Yankees scored 2. So they halved it. Yeah. I noticed it in the box score when they showed it on the TV, and I was like, "Oh, that's
so giddy." Yeah,
I'm like, "That's kind of cool." Okay, and I said to my brother, if they keep them at 6, they can win this game because they're gonna have to go to the bullpen at some point. And the key was that Schneider took Bieber out when he did and used most of his bullpen. So now the Yankees are going to see those guys again in Game 4. And I will say that I agree with John Smoltz because he said it on the broadcast. The more you see these guys, the more you get used to them.
Yeah.
It's easier to hit them.
Can I take a chance to gloat, please, for a second? Just
sure.
2 seconds.
Sure.
There were a ton, and I mean a ton, of Blue Jays fans in our comments over the last week that went at me for saying the middle part of the Blue Jays bullpen is not good at all. They took tremendous amounts of offense to me saying that, even though their middle part of their bullpen has a 6 ERA this year. That's besides the point. Don't let the numbers fool you. And to me, this game proved it. Yeah. When you saw Bieber coming out of the game as early as he did, it almost gave you a little more hope as a Yankee fan that, they get to face the middle part of this bullpen. Yeah. And it gives you, hear me out. This might sound crazy. I almost think it would have been better for the Blue Jays, for Schneider, to leave Bieber in and let him get shelled and avoid the Yankees from seeing this bullpen.
Right.
Because it gives you a shot in Game 4. And if the Yankees don't see that bullpen and they don't know what's coming at them in Game 4, you can just win Game 4 for the Blue Jays and move on in the series.
This feels similar to the Alex Cora thing, right?
It feels like a grave mistake out of Schneider because now the Yankees get to see that bullpen a day in advance and see them again tomorrow. And well, I guess later today at this point. And now they've seen these guys twice, and you know for sure you're seeing these guys tomorrow. So now you've seen these guys twice in the span of less than 24 hours. I don't know if that was the best move out of Schneider. It doesn't feel like it was a smart move, to be honest. I think you're better off letting if the Yankees are going to come back and you're going to get shelled, you might as well let Bieber get shelled.
Right. Yeah, that felt like a strange move to me, but it felt like the advantage for the Yankees, which made me happy because I thought, okay, this is actually going to help the Yankees. Thank you, John Schneider,
100%.
very much for doing this for them. So Rodon, 2 1/3 innings, just abysmal.
Not good enough.
Awful. You can't have a game like this when your backs are against the wall. And it was so demoralizing when the Blue Jays went up 6-1 and you're thinking to yourself, great, so they're going to get swept out of this series. Another team is going to celebrate on their field. And it's going to be so demoralizing for everyone watching. Every Yankee fan is just going to sit there and be like, what is the point of this? Plus, not only that, there were a couple of plays in the beginning of the game. Jazz not throwing the ball to home fast enough. And I'm not going to really blame Bellinger, but there were a couple of plays where you're just like, oh, they're doing it again. They're playing with horrible fundamentals. They're not doing what you want them to do. The starting pitcher came out and just basically took a big pile of excrement on the pitching,
on the fan base.
Right? And it just felt like it was going to be one of those losses.
Yep.
Then the bottom of the third happens. And when they halved the score and made it 6-3, that's when I thought to myself, all right, it's still really early.
They're fighting.
If they can keep them at 6, maybe they have a shot. And boy, did they have a shot. My goodness, what a turn. This almost feels worse for the Blue Jays than losing game 4 because you had the Yankees on the ropes. You were up 6-1 early in the game.
I'm sure there were a few people in Toronto who bought tickets online for the ALCS when they saw the score.
I mean, it still could happen, obviously.
Of course. But I mean,
they were just expecting the sweep. No offense to the Yankees, but I was too when they went down 6-1.
Yeah,
but when they cut it to 6-3 and I saw how early it was, and I knew that Bieber probably wasn't going to be in the game long because the Yankees were starting to hit him, I thought to myself, if they could just keep them at 6, if the bullpen can keep them at 6, and they did. They did what they needed to do. The bullpen that people were making fun of, I saw posts on social media like, oh, the Yankees bullpen can do the funniest thing right now once the Yankees tied the score.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic. They also didn't go to Weaver, which I was like, thank you.
Yep.
Good job,
They
Boone.
couldn't use him. They knew they couldn't use him.
Yeah. The one thing that scared me slightly was them losing the 2 challenges and losing them for the rest of the game. But then it turned out that the catcher's interference that they thought they had didn't even matter because then Grisham hit the double and it worked out to be okay. I saw better at bats from guys, not Volpe, but most of the other guys, I saw better at bats from them. The defense, that play that Jose Caballero made.
Yeah, and I want to say this too, to the bullpen point you were making earlier. They preach all year whenever guys have bad appearances that, oh, I thought he had great stuff and he was fine and he just has to fix this and tweak this. I'm very happy that they admitted to themselves, hey, Weaver doesn't have it.
Right.
Like, he's out of the circle of trust. I know it was 3 bad appearances. That's all it takes. He's done.
Yeah.
And I love that they didn't go to Weaver trying to show their faith in him. You can't mess around with faith in guys at this point. Season's on the line. So I like that they did that too. But
they're showing faith in Devin Williams because he's been pitching well.
He's deserved it. He's deserved it. He's pitched. Yep. I mean, to his credit, he hasn't pitched well all year, but this is to a lot of Yankee fans, it doesn't matter what you do all year. It matters what you do now. And he's been pitching really well in the postseason.
So the Judge home run, let's discuss this because
the Judge game. Forget the home run, the game that he had.
I mean, he's batting over 500.
Yeah.
And
he was a triple shy of the cycle.
Yeah, and the knock on him was that he wasn't hitting in big spots. He was hitting when no one was on base, and that, it doesn't help when Trent Grisham's up ahead of him and not hitting the ball, because at one point in the game, Trent Grisham was batting my ideal weight, 143. So, there were some factors. And yes, he did come up in spots and didn't pull through, but this is the thing about that home run. First of all, when it happened, my brother's like, how did he hit that pitch? Because it was 99.7 miles an hour. It's the fastest pitch he's ever hit for a home run. It was also 1.2 feet inside. And he hit it like 3/4 of the way up the foul pole.
The height on the ball is absurd. Absurd, the height on the ball. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and that was per James Smythe of Yes. And then Sarah Langs. Judge's home run is Major League Baseball's first since at least 2008 when pitch tracking started. That was off a pitch that fast and that far inside. No one hits balls there except for Aaron Judge now.
That was, it's crazy because I actually think he has rightfully gotten the flag that he's gotten this season so far. And it's, say what you want. He's hit perfectly throughout the postseason. He's hitting over 500. He has not come through in the big moment. He just hasn't. I'm sorry. That strikeout in game 1 is gonna sit in your head for a while, especially if they lose the series. But this was a moment. Mm-hmm. This was everything. To hit a pitch that was that outside, that had no chance of being called a strike, and to drive it the way that he did, and for it to be a game-tying home run in its 6-1 comeback. I mean, that home run has everything that great players need to have in big postseason moments. And, just from my perspective, Stace, being in Madison Square Garden, 90% of the crowd's watching, because the Rangers played so poorly, is watching the Yankee game on their phone.
Right.
And the whole crowd jumped up and screamed as if the Rangers scored a goal.
Oh, that's funny.
It was nuts. And the Let's Go Yankees chant going on must have made the Rangers players feel great. But the Let's Go Yankees chants going on, it was unbelievable.
Well, I was at the reverse. I was at a game in 94 when the Rangers were in the playoffs, and when they showed the score, the days before phones, so we didn't know what was going on. And the only way we knew what was going on, unless someone had a transistor radio in their ear, was if they put the score up on the scoreboard. And there were a few times where I was at baseball games in 94 where they updated Knicks scores and Ranger scores.
That's amazing.
And the chants broke out. Yeah. Yeah.
It was insane. It really was. And also, too, I mean, we can discuss more of this in the next segment if you want, but the Yankee bullpen deserves major props for the way that what they did in this game. Major props.
Actually, let's do that. All right. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. For the listeners of the show, the link is in the description. You just click on it and you can sign up. If you're watching us on YouTube, here is your QR code to join the Insiders Club. You get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings during the season. You can send us reactions to the game. There were plenty of those on Tuesday night. You also get top priority on Fan Mail Friday. We do that every week. I send out the lineups during the postseason, any breaking news, so you don't have to check social media. We also have a private Discord where you can commiserate with your fellow Yankee fans during games. There is a 14-day free trial. So coming up, we're going to continue the discussion of this wild game that took about 15 years off my life. Next.
The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Now, I love using FanDuel. It gives me so many ways to play. I've built many parlays, tried player props, and even followed the live lines during the games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on the action. Whether you're a casual fan or you love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Stacey, going into this game, the Toronto Blue Jays, with a 5-run lead this season, their record was 39-0. 39-1 now. An incredible comeback. I mean, there's this is, I mean, again, I don't want to get ahead of myself. There still is a lot of work to be done, but this is one of those, remember when that game happened? That turns out a postseason for a team.
Right. This really could. I know there's another game on Wednesday, and you can't expect Cam Schlittler to do what he did against the Red Sox, but this could really be one of those games that could change a series entirely, because it gives the Yankees confidence to know that they could come back against this team, but I don't want them to ever get down that far again. Guys, don't do that again. And it can also be a bit demoralizing for the Jays, because they were celebrating really early and they really thought that they were going to sweep the Yankees out of their own stadium. So I enjoyed this one, I will say, because the Blue Jays have been crowing for the past 4 or 5 seasons with that young core, and they have confidence. They're playing very well this year, obviously. So they have every right to, but it was kind of nice to kind of rub that in a bit at the end of this game.
It is one of those, that's a tough one to recover from. And it's a tough one to bounce back from it for the Blue Jays, not even a day later. That's a really tough one. When you're playing the next day, you don't have a day to kind of decompress and reset yourself. You're going right back into it. I got to be honest. I don't know if it was set up perfectly by John Schneider, and I'll say it for this reason. He played and managed this game with a lot of urgency in removing Bieber when he did and going to the bullpen as quickly as he did, almost as if he wasn't realizing that his team was up 2-0 in the series.
Right. It felt very similar to, I mean, it's different because that was a 3-game series, but it felt like he was managing because they had to win because they only have one more game in the series left. It feels like he didn't remember that there are, after this, hopefully, if necessary, 2 more games to play. Like, he was
It's crazy where they used Varland too, using him as early as they did in the game.
Yeah.
It showed a lot of pressure under Schneider. Like, he felt like he needed to win this game, which just shows you too, from the Blue Jays point of view, they don't trust their bullpen at all.
Right.
Because he thinks that he knows tomorrow's a bullpen game. And if he thinks that, hey, I got to go to Varland now early on, because if I don't, this game's going to get away from us, we're going to lose this game, and then tomorrow's a bullpen game. It's almost as if he knows tomorrow's a loss, because he's afraid of going into it with his bullpen, which is a problem. Which goes back to our point made on yesterday's show. To me, that adds more fuel to our argument of they should have had Scherzer or Bassett on this roster just to kill the innings. I mean, because even, let's just say you don't name a starter for game 4 yet, and your thought process is, all right, we might go Scherzer, we might go bullpen game, we're not sure. If you thought Bieber had to come out, you could have threw Scherzer into this game. You could have threw Bassett into this game and just had one of those guys be a Will Warren, be an innings eater, and the game gets away from you, sure, but you don't allow the Yankees to see your entire middle bullpen, who already struggles to begin with. That's the thing that I think is really weird. Instead, the Yankees saw all these guys, and the benefit to the Yankees, I mean, yeah, they got shelled in game 2. Don't get me wrong. The benefit they have, though, Stacey, is they got Warren to eat all those innings, and they didn't use any of their high-end relievers in any of those innings in that game, and that's what's key to that start. Whereas they bring in this game, when they get to their bullpen, which pitched phenomenally, but after Rodon goes 2 1/3, you have Cruz go an inning and a third, Doval go an inning, you have Tim Hill going in a third, Devin Williams going in a third, Bednar an inning and 2/3. The Blue Jays hadn't seen those guys yet. If they would have seen those guys in game 2, in game 1, it gives you a little more confidence in the Blue Jays. Oh, I've seen Bednar's curveball already. I've seen Doval's slider already. I've seen Cruz's sinker already. To not see those guys yet, it gives the Yankees a significant advantage going in. So I don't like the way that Schneider managed this game, man, by any means.
Right. I will say, once they tied at 6-6, it was still really early. Also, this day was the longest day ever. I don't know why. The game felt like it was 5 hours long. The day felt like between 6 and 8 felt like 6 hours. It just was so long. And the game, it felt like one of those old school, before you were born, Yankee Orioles games that would go like 4.5 hours in 9 innings. It just
you could have used closer to my timeline. You could have just said Yankees Red Sox before the pitch clock.
True.
Because Yankees Red Sox would always go 4 hours every time too.
Very true.
This game started at 8, and so did the Ranger game, because it was opening night. we were walking out of the Garden, and it was the start of the 6th inning in the Yankee.
Yeah.
And the Yankee game did not move. It was crazy.
So, not to toot my own horn, but I was live on Canadian TV earlier on Tuesday to talk about the Blue Jays and the Yankees. And I said the key for the Yankees was to not let the Blue Jays score early, to not take the crowd out of it. Vlad hits the home run, and I'm thinking to myself, that's exactly the opposite of what I wanted to happen and what I said the key to the game was. But I also said that the Blue Jays have issues on the road. They're the one playoff team that's left that's under 500 or finished under 500 on the road. And that worked out for the Yankees. But it was just really funny because that was my main point. I said the Yankees have to keep the crowd involved in everything because it's intimidating in Yankee Stadium with everyone screaming at you. This is a young team. And when Vlad hit that home run, I just thought, man, no one listens to me.
Props to that crowd for staying in the game, by the way, and keeping the faith in this team. And again, props to the Yankees for being able to score in the bottom of that inning, because just getting the one run, even though it was 2-1, getting the one run shows there's some fight in this team, and it gives the crowd a reason to stay involved in the game.
Right.
If you go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first, the crowd just loses faith almost immediately. But being able to get that one run, it does more than just one run on the scoreboard, if that makes sense. Yeah. It keeps the crowd involved. And the Blue Jays, I watched the simulated game when I got home, the condensed game. The Blue Jays, to me, looked like a team that was not prepared to play in a hostile environment that's not their own. And it seems like when because their environment gets hostile in Toronto, it felt like they were a team that just is not used to playing in an environment that when that crowd is not in support of them, they're not comfortable.
Yeah, there were some plays that happened. I'm not going to blame who was that running to the left side that missed the ball? The wind was carrying that one, but there were a couple of plays in the outfield that were a little
hit you in the glove, though. That's a play you got to make.
Yes, I guess that's true. But he did run a long way to get it, and it looked like it. It reminded me almost of the Luis Castillo miss in 2009 going the other way.
Luis Castillo was under that ball the entire time.
Yeah, but it just felt like
happened. This to me just felt like it's one of those, if it hits you in the glove and it's a postseason game, you just got to make that play. And let's be real too. If that's Volpe making that error, we destroy him.
Oh yeah.
So
we can still destroy Volpe though, because he's one of the only guys that didn't do anything. You had Jazz hit the home run to make it 7-6. That was a big, huge home run. Wells single makes it 8-6. The Rice sac fly, that worked out well. He hit that hard too.
Yeah.
And he did it
even
in front
Stanton.
of yes, and he did it in front of Bad Bunny, because I said, Benny, you gotta perform in front of Benito. You can't have a bad game. And I also thought, the Yankees can't lose this game. CC Sabathia threw out the first pitch. You can't do that in front of CC Sabathia. How dare you? But yeah, you mentioned the bullpen. Great job by all of them. Honestly, they really saved. I mean, I know the offense came back and won, but the Blue Jays are the type of team who could score.
Oh yeah,
in so many ways. And if it's not Vlad, it's Ernie Clement. If it's not him, it's Davis Schneider. If it's not him, it's Barger or it's Varsho. Like, there's so many guys on that team that you have to be worried about.
They used the Yankees in this game with their bullpen, used every guy that's in their current circle of trust.
Mm-hmm.
Cruz, Hill, Williams, Bednar. Yeah. Every guy that is in their circle of trust, and they had to go with that. It was to save their season.
And even Doval.
And to those guys, even trusting Doval there is sneaky.
Yeah.
Is very, very, very sneaky. But yeah, they did everything they had to do to try and win this game. I mean, they had to. This was do or die for them. But to use those guys and them to come through in this spot is nothing short of miraculous and massive, to be honest.
Boone pushed all the right buttons. We said he had to manage the game of his life, and
don't get used to it.
No, I know. He did it one game, and it worked out that the other manager kind of
made mistakes
and was the Boone for the night, I guess. Maybe.
I don't hate
but
that.
Yeah, that was quite a win for the Yankees. Again, that could really, I know it's only one win, but when the Yankees were down 0-2 against Oakland, situation was different because they lost the first two at home in 2001. But game 3, also this is out of those 3 series, 2001, 2017, this is the first game 3 that wasn't a 1-0 win for the Yankees.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, far from it.
Because the 2001 game was the Mike Mussina start that had the Derek Jeter flip play in it. And that was a 1-0 game. And then game 3 against Cleveland was the Greg Bird game. So it's kind of funny that the Yankees scored 9 runs in this game because someone pointed that out. They're like, oh, well, it's game 3. It should be
different vibe than those other ones, by the way, too. Like those other ones were clench your seat kind of games. This is a lot different.
Well, it was still I don't know. I was clenching my seat because I was just like, please don't blow it. Please don't blow it. The bullpen. And I'm like, please just keep scoring. Please just keep scoring. But it feels, what was my original point? Oh yeah. So it feels, this could be a series changing game. I know it's one game, but it's one of those where you could really, in a 5-game series, can really swing it towards the other team, even though they're still down 2-1, because that's what the flip play did. And that's what Greg Bird did in 2017.
It's a great point. And I think the judge home run could do that.
Yeah.
It can be one of those plays.
Yep.
It's weird how it takes one thing sometimes, but I mean, the crowd going as crazy as it was and the Blue Jays being stuck in this environment they're in. Again, you push it to a game 5, anything can happen in those elimination games. It becomes a 1-game series at that point. So it just wild to see the Blue Jays go through something like this.
Yeah. All right, well, coming up, we'll continue talking about this game. We'll tell you what happened between the Tigers and the Mariners because they're also playing. And I want to discuss a quote that Bryce Harper had about his 4th child and his wife because I thought it was weird and I really need to talk about it. So we're going to talk about that all next.
What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla that's riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure damn confidence. And if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Go Long. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for your confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula, so you can get hard and go the distance. The effects can last up to 36 hours. It's confidence all day, all night, and even into the next day. The process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. If prescribed, your treatment is there immediately. It's the perfect way to get things done. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to Rugiet.com and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for 15% off your first order. That's Rugiet.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Make sure to use our code so they know that we sent you. So, Stacey, you want to go to Harper's quote or you want to go over Mariners first?
Let's go over Mariners first because I don't have the quote in front of me yet.
Well, while you do that, I'll go over the Mariners game because this, to me, I'll be quite frank with all of you guys. After they won the School Bowl start, the Mariners, this series felt like the Tigers had a lot of control when they won game 1. And then we're going into the School Bowl start for game 2. It felt like, woof, the Mariners could be up on the ropes here. And then the Mariners somehow find a way to win the School Bowl start. They get 2 home runs off of Scuba. Polanco hit both of those home runs. And then it feels like things tighten up a little bit if you're Detroit going back home. And this game was just pure domination for the Mariners. Completely killed them. Rally's homers late. Suarez homered. Crawford homered. Mariners were just all over them from the start. Crawford singled in the 3rd, driving a run. Arozarena singled in the 3rd to driving a run. Then Eugenio Suarez homers in the 4th. Rally singles in the 4th, driving a run in. It 6th inning, Crawford. 8th inning, Crawford. Rally, 9th inning. Like, it just kept happening and happening. They kept scoring. And this is what we talked about the Yankees, too. You have to keep the pressure on in these games. You let up for an inning or two and a team gives themselves belief to come back. More often than not, those teams find a way to come back. So you have to keep the pressure on. Tigers were not able to withstand that. This series just feels over to me. I don't envision a scenario where the Tigers are going to wind up winning the series. I just don't.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think it's going to be Mariners in this one. So this is this is the quote from Bryce Harper. So they had their 4th child, a boy. And I said 4th child, and his middle name is 3, which okay. So this is the quote. I've got an incredible wife, man. She pushed that thing out in 3 pushes and 30 seconds. She's an absolute monster doing it. Women, man, what a breed. I'm serious. It's an incredible thing. Okay. So he refers to his baby as a thing, first of all. Push that thing out in 30 seconds. Bryce, come on. And then, what a breed. Is she a dog, Bryce? Come on. I know what he means.
When was this quote like given? Like, was this right after a game, right before a game? Like, I'm just trying to, is this like a testosterone driven quote where someone got him at the wrong time?
It was today. It was because they were doing the press conference.
That's all I'm thinking. I was like, maybe it was like right after like a lift or something, and he's just got like all this testosterone running through him, and he's like, man, women, what a breed, man. Like, maybe that's what it is more of. Like, I don't know. I would never refer to women as a breed, to be honest.
If I was his wife and I heard him say that thing about my newborn baby,
probably wants to kill him.
Yeah. I just thought that was so funny. It's such a guy thing to say too. It's such a guy athlete thing to say.
I think it's crazy that Bryce Harper had his 4th child.
I find it crazy.
I remember when he got called up.
But he's been playing for he faced Andy Pettit. That's how long he's been around.
Yeah. I remember when he got called up with the Nationals.
Yeah.
Like crazy, like how young he was.
That was a long time. Was it 2011? When did he get called up?
Yeah. He was 18. He was like literally 18 years old. His career has worked out nicely, and he's been a really, really good player and probably a Hall of Famer. But he has actually disappointed when it comes to how highly touted he was coming into the league. Like, Stacey, he dropped out of high school at 14 years old.
Yeah.
To go play like federation level baseball, like and just train at baseball. Think about that. Like, he was that highly touted of a talent. It's wild that he again, his career's been great, but it hasn't quite been what people thought it would be, which is crazy to think about. His career is just wild. I want him to get a championship. He deserves one.
Yeah, I do too.
Should be a Yankee, but
yeah. All right, let's look at the comments because there are. Yeah, see, Val, I was tempted to sing this in the open, but I decided to spare you guys from that. But I'll have you know that did go through my head, and I wanted to because I'm old enough to have I'm old enough to have seen Saturday Night Fever in the theater. I saw the PG version though, because there were 2 versions because I was only 4 when I saw it. So just would like to point that out too. Let's see. Yeah.
Was it a silent film when you saw it?
No. I'm not that old.
Black and white though.
No. Actually, have I seen? I'm trying to think if I've seen any black and white films in a theater.
Don't admit it.
No.
It was a joke.
No, I don't think I have, right? Because they've made movies that are black and white, like as a, like Ed Wood was black and white, and there was other movies that were black and white. Young Frankenstein, but that came out the year I was born. I didn't see that till I was 10. My dad sat us down. He's like, you have to watch this. It's one of the funniest movies ever.
I think my dad did that too, actually. I saw it on Broadway.
Yeah. Yes, Ollie James, I agree. And Brian had said it earlier. The stadium really did. They did a great job. They really did.
And holding in and believing in this team.
Yes.
Got to give them credit where credit's due.
They easily could have. See, okay, I'm not that old. Homer saw Godfather in the theater. I'm not that old. First movie I saw in the theater, fun fact, King Kong. Jessica
original
Lange.
1933?
No. Jeff Bridges. I can tell you where I was sitting in the theater. I was only 2 years old. I cried when he died at the end. I cried when I was inconsolable. That's my first movie memory. I was inconsolable.
I saw Finding Nemo in the theaters.
I have never seen that because I'm too old for that, right? That came out when I was a fully formed adult, and I was just like, I don't know.
It's about a fish.
Yeah, I know. I know the story about Finding Nemo, but I've never. Oh, okay. Homer Simpson was a baby for Godfather, but still, you're older than me, so.
They actually found Nemo.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What was your first movie? Do you remember?
Star Wars Episode 3.
That's funny. That was my second movie was Star Wars, the original. Before A New Hope,
obsessed.
Before they called it A New Hope, it was just Star Wars.
I was obsessed with that. I saw Shrek 2 in theaters about 7,000 times because it was one of those movies that came out at a certain month when like every friend of mine had a birthday.
Oh, so you
And
kept,
the plan was to like do your birthday party at the movies and everyone saw Shrek 2. So I saw Shrek 2 more times than I have a desire to even count. It was insane.
That happened with me in E.T. I saw E.T. 5 times. 3
Yeah,
times in a regular
like one
theater.
Summer.
3 times in a regular theater and 2 times in drive-thrus with different friends.
Crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, tonight's game could have been a movie. No one could have scripted that, though. I don't think anyone could have scripted this because just wild. Just absolutely wild. Can't believe it. You go from like the lowest of the lows, right? And like 2 innings later, you're at the highest of highs, and you're just like, wow, I can't believe they did
having
this.
to hold on. Having to hold on. Like they could
having to hold on for so long.
That adrenaline could have easily ran off, and then what do you do? I mean, like that was my fear as I was leaving MSG. I was saying to people like, because everyone was talking in the escalators like the game was over. And I was kind of like, hey, they need 12 outs. Like this game's not over yet. They got to get the bullpen has not been great. They need these outs, and thankfully they were able to get them. But it is crazy. The people just forget, like that the bullpen has not been good of late. So that was what was scaring me. Is like they got the lead, and that's great, but they need to get that. And when it was 7-6 when Jazz hit the home run, I'm like, this score is not ending here.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted at least 3 more just to feel comfortable.
And that's why, by the way, those extra runs matter a lot too. Before we close it out here, is if it's 7-6, the Blue Jays have a lot more faith going into those at bats late in the game. They're working counts more. They're not getting as aggressive and as edgy to try and make something happen because they know it's only one base runner away. It's only one mistake away. It's only one. It's a different approach when you're down those 3 runs as opposed to being down the 1 run. So it is key to get those insurance runs as early as possible.
Here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday's game. Do you still start Volpe, even though he's done absolutely nothing?
Yeah, and Caballero's actually played well.
Mm-hmm.
Do I, as the manager, are you asking, or what do I think they'll do?
What do you think they'll do?
Start Volpe.
Yeah.
I would start Caballero. I think they're going to start Volpe.
Right.
The only thing that starting Caballero does is it shortens your bench because you're not bringing Volpe in off the bench. You're just not doing that. So to me, it shortens your bench. Also, Volpe's defense has been really good. I think if they'll hang their hat on that, like his defense has been good. But at the plate, he's been a complete zero.
I'm just literally going to say the same phrase. Yeah, just a complete zero. You know it's going to be a bad at bat
every time. Yeah, that's the thing too, Stace. They're not even 6, 7, 8 pitch at bats where it's like, all right, he was competitive. He let the guy
like 3 or 4 pitches.
Yeah, they're 3 or 4 pitches.
And he's striking out on pitches that he shouldn't be swinging at. He's swinging out of his shoes. He's, the bat's going flying. Just
there's never been a guy in need of an offseason more than him.
Yeah, he really. And you can almost see it in his face sometimes.
Yeah, he needs the season to end.
One last comment from Derek. Hi, guys. How confident do you feel going into Game 4 tomorrow? Do you think the offense will still be on fire and Cam will pitch lights out? Let's not expect Cam Schlittler to have a repeat of what he did against the Red Sox, but I will expect him to not have a repeat of the last time he faced the Blue Jays because he realized he was doing things wrong. And I think he will be better in this start than he was the last time he saw them. Because they lost that game 7-1. I think he'll be fine because
I agree.
He's good at adjusting. He has confidence. And I think he'll pitch a better game than he did the last time he saw them.
And I'll say this. I don't know if I'm fully confident in the rest of the series necessarily, but I am very confident in Game 4.
Yeah.
I just think they're set up so well with the Blue Jays bullpen coming in.
If they can't beat the Blue Jays bullpen, then
and they're going to see all the guys they saw the day before.
Yeah.
So you've got not only film on them, but you also remember too, the comeback effort they had in Game 2. The Blue Jays had to bring all those guys in that game also. Mm-hmm. So now this is going to be the 3rd game you've seen all those bullpen relief arms who haven't had good years to begin with.
Right.
Now you're bringing all those guys in for a 3rd game in 4 days. Like that, there's a lot to that, and we always discuss the nuances of, hey, having see these you want to not let a team see bullpen arms as much as possible. And I know they lost Game 2. We were awfully upset, and we destroyed them for it when we got on the show afterwards. But me and you both mentioned there is something to the fight back and getting those 7 runs late, where the Blue Jays had to use all these pitches and the Yankees got to see all these pitches and they got to. There was something to that, and it's kind of rearing its ugly head now from a Toronto perspective. Is now the Yankees have seen those arms. They've seen those arms now 3. This is the 3rd time. There's something to that, Stacey.
One last. Jimmy Bernard. Is Jason ever going to get a chance to bat? No. But I would expect seeing him as a pinch runner if, say, Stanton gets on late.
100%. That's his purpose. Especially if Caballero's in the field.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I was worried about this game. I jokingly said, is this going to be a celebration or is it going to be a funeral? So we put off the funeral for at least one more night for the 2025 Yankees. Thank goodness. But thank you for joining us for this live stream so late at night. It's nearly 1:15 a.m. on the East Coast. So thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that will do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you after the game tomorrow.